Today we're at White Oak Creek Army Corps of Engineers campground along the Alabama-Georgia border on the Walter F. George Reservoir. This will be a walkthrough and overview of the campground. The best advice about this campground that I can give you is be prepared for ants. Bring something to deter them from coming into your camper. This campground is well known for many ants. Be prepared.
All right, so this is a Mallard Point. This is site 1 through 29. I'm not going to film every site. I just want to give you a basic walkthrough and give you a feel for the general area. So this on the left is pretty good waterfront. That's site 29 right there. And then over here you have a few pull-throughs, and then most of the sites are actually along the water. You can see them ahead. So this is the other half of Mallard Point, split by a large set of power lines. This would be on the west side of the power lines. And it looks like we're on sites 1 through 15 or 16 or so on my left. But all these are waterfront and pretty nice. All right, so this is Oakwood, and it's sites 30 through 59. I couldn't find any pictures on the recreation.gov site when I was making the reservation to look at the sites. I did find some pictures on another website. I think it was Campendium. And so our site is here on the right, number 30, and it showed the picture from down there. I don't know if you can tell in the video, but it's a pretty steep approach to the site. It's probably the steepest I've ever done with the truck and fifth wheel to a campsite. But it was doable, but I just was not expecting it. So it's like 30 through 35 have a pretty steep approach. And over there's the bathhouse. We've stayed on site 32 before, and we had the smaller camper then, but I'm not sure I would do it with the fifth wheel because you got to go around that tree and get over there. So a small trailer, or like they have a van, would probably be the best idea for that. There's a straight on approach to 33 though. It's still a little bit of a hill. All right, so we're still in Oakwood and we're walking through 35 through 59, and I would describe these as the waterfront sites. And pretty shady over here on the 35, 36 side. Nice view of the lake on the others. All right, so we're still at Oakwood. This is site 40 where the Harley's at. A little less shade, but that's because you get the lakefront view. Just aren't as many trees, so you kind of have to sacrifice some shade. And right now, late July, shade is important. Then there's a kids playground area here in the center, and also there are some center slots over here as well, some RV slots. All right, next time I reserve, 51 would be an excellent site. Pretty much straight back in, and then there's no real neighbors to the campsite of the site. So site 51 next time. Second bathhouse at between Oakwood and the next area. I don't know the name of the next area, but I'll tell you as soon as I get to the sign. All right, so now we're going to walk through Creek View, sites 60 through 80, and that's the same bathhouse I pointed out earlier down here on the right. So looks like they're site 60. These first few kind of follow that same theme over at 30, where there's a little bit of a hill, not nearly as steep though. Lots of shade on these first few sites in the 60 through looks like about 62. And then it gets more waterfront. A little less shade, but still quite a bit considering. And plenty of places to park across the street for your boats, trailers, and extra vehicles and all that kind of stuff. All right, so this is a loop starting at 72. I'm going to guess going the rest of the way up on this group. This is sort of another real close to the water loop. So some of these guys on the right literally have waterfront property. Boating seems to be the other thing to do here on the lake, obviously. So another little waterfront loop, looks like 88, maybe through 95 or 100. I'm not really sure how many are in this loop. We'll see when we get to the end. And a little peninsula here with straight out view across the lake. So these would be nice spots. They're a little cramped, but more people get lakefront, I guess, that way. So these are the last of the sites in this loop. Couple, 2 or 3 sites here. Not waterfront, but plenty of shade and privacy as well. So if you don't really need to be right on the water, looks like these would be good sites. 99, 100, it looks like. All right, so this is River Chase, sites 101 and up. We're just entering the first site. On the right is 101. Currently unoccupied. Doesn't look too bad. Pretty shady. Not waterfront if you don't need it, but plenty of shade. It's like a pretty easy approach. All of these are that way. Seems to be the theme of these, and then they get closer and closer to the water as you go up. All right, so this is for my friend Sean, site 106 here with the white F-150 in the Coleman. They have this site reserved coming up in a week or two, so they wanted me to take a little bit of video and pictures of it. Pretty easy to get into, and right on the water, Sean, so the kids can get right in there. I think you made a good choice. Let me see if I can get some film from the other side. Not too tight on the neighbors the way they're staggered. So there you go, there's 106, the campsite. Just one tree in there, one pine. It looks good though. Across from 106, 107 is the bathhouse. Short walk if you walk through the grass. Not too bad if you take the road around. And there's a playground, it looks like, on the other side. And so this is what I call the peninsula again, or the point. Several sites along here, right on the water. There's a buddy site right there. 110's got room for two water hookups, 2 electric hookups. So if you're buddy camping, 110 would be an excellent choice. 112 here. So it's 110 and 111 are the buddy sites. I couldn't see the sign over there in the weeds, but 112's a nice waterfront site as well. So these are interesting, 116 and up. They're far enough up to get plenty of shade, but just a few steps to the water from your site. So you kind of get the best of both worlds here. A little beach and a little shade. Not too bad. A little bit of a hill to drive down, but not too bad. All right, so I think we made it to the end of the line on this particular loop. Site 122 is down there, and then site 123 is here with the red truck and the trailer. And then there's a few sites across the way in the center as well.